My name is Elizabeth Mukami, working with the International Rescue Committee as the Livelihoods Technical Advisor. Thank you all for joining us during this Financial Inclusion Week to be able to understand the work that we are undertaking at the International Rescue Committee in a program that we call Refugees in East Africa, Boosting Urban Innovations for Livelihood Development. This is a 5-year project that we have partnered with iCare Foundation in order to support refugees to attain economic self-reliance. Over the years, being the 3rd year of implementing this project known as BUiLD, we have been able to undertake a lot within the financial inclusion work. We partnered with Open Capital Advisors to undertake an assessment which culminated to a paper that we published on financial service providers. The work that we are undertaking under Financial Inclusion for BUiLD project entails working with financial institutions both in Nairobi and Kampala. For Nairobi, we have partnered with Equity Bank, and for Kampala, we have partnered with USLAs Microfinance. The assessment and the financial services paper that we published shows that there are a number of challenges that come up for refugees and financial services, even as they try to provide financial services to the refugees. The work that we are undertaking currently has indicated that there are 3 key barriers to financial service providers and refugees for financial inclusion. That includes the supply side of challenges, the demand side of challenges, and the regulatory side of challenges. What we have assessed and found out is that for the demand side, the refugees lack the necessary collateral, the necessary requirements that they need to present to financial institutions to be able to access financial services. On the other hand, for the financial services who are the supply side, are unable to provide services to this population because it's a population that they really do not understand. It is quite unstable in as much as they may have products that are suitable for the refugees. They lack that trust, that understanding of the population for them to be able to serve them adequately. On the regulatory side, there is the know your customer requirement, which makes it a big barrier for financial institutions to be able to provide services to refugees. And now, within the BUiLD project, we have been able to bring this together and be able to support the refugees and financial institutions to be able to come together and get to understand how better to provide these services. In this regard, we introduced what we call the result-based facility and loan guarantee fund for refugees to use this facility to be able to access services. And so for Uganda and for Kampala, basically in USLAs, we have introduced the result-based facility, which is able to help the refugees access services from USLAs in order to be able to gain capital that can be able to support them to put into their businesses for those who are starting and even those who wish to expand their businesses. For Kenya, we are working with Equity Bank, where they have a loan guarantee fund that acts as collateral for refugees to be able to access financial services. We have seen strides in this, where now we are seeing the groups that have been formed under the International Rescue Committee, BUiLD project. The groups, we call them Urban Savings and Loans Associations, where it's a platform or a forum that they use to get to understand the group lending methodology even before the financial institutions get to introduce themselves. Within the USLA work, there is a lot that we are doing towards financial literacy to the USLAs. And in that regard, we also consider that this is an important level for entry for financial institutions because it provides a history of how the groups have been performing over time. And also it brings that appetite to financial institutions when they are looking at the group lending methodology. For this work, and also to make sure that we are even making it better, we have partnered with Ensibuuko, who are working on USLA digitization. They have done a lot of work in this field, and so we partner with them in Kampala to be able to support the USLAs that we have formed to be able to get digitalized. On this note, I will welcome Mr. Gerald Otim, who is the techpreneur and founder of Ensibuuko, to be able to speak to the work that we have been doing and what we seek even to enhance as we work on the USLA work. Welcome, Mr. Gerald, to speak to the work that we are doing.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We started Ensibuuko with the intent to improve access to financial services for unbanked and last mile communities. We do this primarily by empowering savings groups and savings cooperatives. As a fintech company, we provide a digital platform that automates how savings groups and savings cooperatives manage their data and their processes. In recent years, we have integrated digital financial services on top of the platform, allowing savings groups a digital way to save, but also giving them access to credit digitally. We do this by partnering with specific financial service providers, such as telecom companies and banks. In Uganda, we collaborate with IRC to digitize and layer digital financial services for urban savings and loans associations in the outskirts of Kampala. And in the last couple of months, we have supported 20 urban savings and loans associations digitize the operations. We are now at the stage where we are starting to layer digital financial services on top of the platform for them. This is an exciting thing for us because for the first time ever, refugee communities will have access to financial services provided digitally. And this is something that we believe will really transform the way unbanked communities access financial services here in Uganda and in the rest of the world. In collaboration with the IRC through the BUiLD program, we have gained some really insightful learnings. One of them being that by digitizing a savings group, you improve trust. People now can trust the savings groups better if the data of the savings group is on a digital platform that is difficult to adulterate, but also provides some level of visibility. It democratizes data and makes it easier for people to have easy access to their own personal ledger on a simple phone. But the other thing that digitization really has done is aggregate this information in a way that other third parties have access. So we consolidate this data and build models that allow other financial service providers to have visibility, but also generally anyone that wants to provide services and products to savings groups and these types of communities now have an efficient way and a reliable way to access that data and to use it to make decisions. But also most importantly, digitization generally provides the opportunity for people to interact with other digital innovations that currently exist. So what we really have done is use the digital platform to plug in other services like mobile money payments, access to digital SMS banking, access to innovative lending products, and in the future, we will be layering microinsurance products on top of the platform. These are all very useful insights about the impact of digitization for these types of groups. Over to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Mr. Otim, for the great presentation regarding the work that we are undertaking. At this point, we are going to see the work that the USLAs are doing as they utilize this platform that Mr. Otim has spoken about, and how we seek even to enhance this work with the other USLA groups that we continue to support.
Today, as a group, we had come for our normal savings. Savings today is just as normal. It's fair.
We started the group on 14th October 2022. So we are now in the second year of our saving.
My name is Meling Betty, a member in God We Prosper. With the savings, since we began it, it had been so helpful in a way that at times when you have a business, you're stuck, you do not have the capital, you can borrow some money and you put into your business to boost your business. That is the most important thing I've got from the savings.
IRC supported us with some money last year, that was 5 million, to add on the money we have. So they told us that that money, we should not divide. That money should be used. Like the 30 members can borrow that money, then they bring back with the interest.
The Rebuild program, since inception, has been doing a lot of work with vulnerable host communities and refugees in areas of financial inclusion to enable them manage risk and transition into economic self-reliance. So one of the key things is unlocking the challenges that they face in as far as financial access is concerned. And over time, during interaction with a number of stakeholders, including the refugees themselves and vulnerable host communities who are part of these USLAs, they raise some of the challenges that we're facing. And among those challenges were challenges around having reliable data, challenges around security, since initially they were saving in boxes that were kept in the community. We also had challenges around access or linkages to formal financial institutions that would enable them get more money that they could lend to their members. So given the background of those challenges, we teamed up with one of the fintechs in Kampala, Ensibuuko, in digitalizing the records.
We were taken for the training by the Rebuild. 5 members taken, 5 representatives out of 30. The secretary, the treasurer, the chairman, and then some 2 members. So that was last year, October. We came and start using the app right away in that first year. Here in the phone, there's where you can record the meetings. So in there, you can include members present, members absent. Apart from that one, we also do record our savings.
The data is already digitalized, not only with the phone here, but with the company that is partnering with the IRC. So this data is already kept, they have it. If even anything happens to the phone, we have, but at least we have our records.
Through having more reliable data, we are linking them digitally to more financial institutions, yeah? Because the digital records have given the fintechs and the financial institutions more confidence in as far as getting them some money that they can use to lend out. And furthermore, the digitalization of the USLA has gone a long way in bringing the women into the formal financial institutions or promoting digital literacy among the women.
We are recording our loans every week because we had wanted the bank to be able to help us. Maybe at the end of the year, we will present our records to the bank so that they will be able to help us with some loans.